I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Hey there, super women, super people, super couples. Thank you. Thank you to all of the men listening. My male listenership is growing, and just want to say thank you to those of you that are trying to understand the female perspective, because we know if there's an episode that is about men, or a lot of men's coach have a huge female following because women want to know how to make your lives better. So for those of you listening to help make the lives of your partners better, we appreciate you. And also thank you to those of you that have taken time to leave a review of this podcast. It's top 2% globally for relationships and self-help. And that is in part thanks to you. Thanks to you for listening. Thanks to you for reviewing. And it helps other super women who need this information get it. So thank you. All right. Today, totally a rant. We are 100% off script because it has been one of those weeks. I know you know them. And I had planned in my superwoman brain an entire series, a love series for the month of February, which we are going to do. But today we're going to talk about what Ozempic antidepressants have to do with superwomen and love, or lack of love. In my mind, I had this nice fairy tale idea of the topics that we were going to talk about, and very like high level tips, lots of dopamine. Like it would make our superwoman brains feel very, very good in the moment, but then it wouldn't feel so great because we all know that shit is not what works. So you're here, you listen. This is a top 2% podcast globally for a reason, because I'm giving you the real deal, telling you the hard truths. And just because it's Love Month and we all secretly like our rom-coms and our Hallmark movies, we're telling the truth today. Now that I'm really off script, actually, I just recorded a guest on a podcast with a doctor. And he was so amazing because he summarized things and he contained me. And it was just like, I just loved that. Maybe I need to bring a man co-host just to reel me in. Just kidding. We'll start with Ozempic, semaglutides. So these are drugs initially prescribed for those with type 2 diabetes, usually with a high BMI and other comorbidities. However, people using this as a weight loss drug or to help maintain their weight has become an epidemic. In the US, there's direct advertising to consumers, so people are getting these ads on their Instagram and ignoring the fact that there are not but one, but two boxed warnings, formerly called black box warnings. So here, let me back it up a bit. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So desire. We cannot have love. We cannot have the love and connection that we seek if we do not know what we desire, if we're not connected to our desires. And me even leading with this is a terrible marketing decision, because most super women look at me and they're like, I know what I want and I know what would make it better. It was just, if he would do this, take out the trash without being asked, if I could find a man that was XYZ, like we've got our thoughts. But then the funny thing is, it's twofold. The funny thing is, if we get those things, we're usually still not happy. And there's an area of our lives, and it's usually career, that we get what we desire? And that's a question that I pose to my clients all the time. If you want something in career, if you want to hit a goal, reach a milestone, when has that ever not happened for you? And it's usually very rarely. We usually get what we desire in career, but not when it comes to sex and intimacy. So we have this desires misalignment, or what we think we want isn't really what we want. That's a whole different podcast, whole different episode. But why would a superwoman, and also I'm not judging you, if you are taking Ozempic, that is fine. I do have a little judgment though for people in the health and wellness industry that are taking Ozempic and not being forthcoming about it. That does rub me the wrong way a little bit, because they're selling things and people are buying them to try and attain what they have or the appearance that they have, like the Kardashians lying about denying their plastic surgery. Like, girl, do you just be honest about it. Just tell the truth. We're all good. Let's just all be honest. So, what would possess somebody to take a medication that isn't really indicated for them and has side effects? So, patients that are on this are feeling nauseous. Sometimes now they're also taking anti-nausea medication. They are constipated. They have no appetite. They feel depressed. One of my clients even said, I don't even feel like eating because I'm depressed and because I don't poop. So maybe that's why I'm losing weight. So a drug that we know has some side effects, a drug that you're not supposed to be taking if you're sick, but if it's a once a week injection and you get sick, like you've already had the injection, like it's just, so why would a healthy-ish person want to take this medication? What is the desire? Now I can hear people saying like, oh, well, to be thin. And super women, like a lot of them struggle to lose weight because they are in fight or flight. There is hormone imbalance. There is inflammation. There is adrenal dysfunction. So if we have cortisol dysregulation, if our body is in fight or flight, it's going to try and store things as fat, like our metabolism there's all of these things. There's a multitude of things going on behind the scenes on the cellular level, which we could see a naturopath like myself or a functional medicine practitioner to help work through those issues. And we could heal them, and the healing would take a little time, and the healthy weight loss would be a little slower, but people would they'd feel better and better and better. And as their labs get better, they have more energy, they have more thought clarity, they feel like themselves again. And then we have this like quick fix in the advertising, like, oh, just take this and all of your problems will be gone. But it is not without consequence and it's not without side effect. So what is the desire? And I'm going to keep coming back to this. So is the desire to be thin? Is the desire to lose the weight easily? What is it? And I'm making no judgment about any of this. I just want to ask questions and bring things into our consciousness, our awareness. And I see this all the time because I've worked with women like naturopathically on the medical side of things for 10 years now, almost 10 years now. And when we fix the underlying factors and they lose the weight and the clothes start to fit the way that they want them to fit, and they are liking the way that they look in the mirror, it's not usually what they want it to be. I would say about 10% of the time that patient is like, yes, this is amazing. This solved all of my problems. There's usually some underlying hidden desires. So is it the validation? Is it, and again, none of this is wrong. None of this is shamey, but beyond the weight loss, but beyond seeing the number on the scale, beyond fitting into a certain size of clothes, like what do you want? How will that make you feel? What will that change for you? And what is the cost that you are willing to go to get this? Let's talk about antidepressants. Again, I'm not pill shaming. anyone that is on an antidepressant and it makes them feel better, I am all for that. What I am not all for is desires being covered up or masked by medication, or it not really doing what you intended it to do. So many of my clients are on antidepressants. They usually went on it at a time of particularly high stress, maybe after a pregnancy, maybe seasonally. It has been the grayest winter of all time. And that might be an exaggeration and it might be factually true, but it's been a pretty darn gray winter here in Canada, at least Ontario. Many of my clients go on it and they think like, I'm going to use this as a crutch. I'm going to do this short term. I just need something to help me manage my life, manage all that is on my plate. And in theory, this sounds amazing. It's just like the weight loss drugs. That sounds amazing in theory. But then what's the reality? Then you're nauseous. Lots of people are vomiting or they can't poop, taking laxatives, which they're going to give themselves other issues. Like you're creating other problems. It is not without consequence that we are on these medications and you stop them and the weight comes back because we didn't fix any of the underlying issues. Antidepressants. 1 in 4 women was on an antidepressant like 10 years ago, and it was like trending. It was going to, if the prescription rates kept at the rate that they were going, which since the pandemic, I think it is probably more than that, but it was going to be 1 in 2 women was on an antidepressant in the United States. And women are 2 times more likely to be on an antidepressant than men. So, like, what is our desire when we're going on an antidepressant? And it's usually like as a crutch for some support, for some help, because we can't cope. We can't sleep. We're waking up with panic attacks. And like I have struggled with mental health myself at points throughout my life. And I am not, again, not shaming, but what is the desire underneath? Is it to be cared for? Is it more time off? Is it to not have to manage it all? Some of you even have partners, and I'll hear this because they're like, everything you talk about is me, except for the fact that, like, my partner will do things if I ask, and like they have support, or he'll make meals, or he'll do laundry. Like, I have, a teammate, but it goes down to like, why are you so burnt out, exhausted, depressed? And what a lot of these medications do is they're numbing you. They're numbing you so that you can tolerate and you can keep going on and continuing at an unhealthy pace. So is it actually fixing the desire? Is it actually giving you what you need, what you want, what's going to make you feel alive, what's going to make your heart sing, what's going to make your pussy wet? I fucking doubt it. Oof. It just, and I'm upset because of the gaslighting. So I've been in like healthcare by the time, like my pre-med degree, my naturopathic medical degree, my years in practice. It's been, I don't know, since like 2006. Like I've been at this a long time. And the gaslighting of women through our healthcare system, us being so out of touch with our desires, what would make us feel alive, and like, do you really want to be like 15 pounds lighter? And maybe you do, and maybe you will feel better and more motivated and all of those things. But by taking a drug that makes you feel terrible, it's going to give you the appearance, it's going to give you the quick, like, yay, dopamine, this is working. But at what cost? At what cost are we taking the antidepressants so that we can tolerate our lives that are not serving us and that do not make us feel alive and juicy? So I'm not saying don't take these medications, but what I am saying is we will never have the love, connection, joy. We will never even be able to enjoy what we've built, our success. And so many of the clients that I work, they've built these beautiful lives. They have money, they have time, they have help, and they're still not happy. Like they're putting on a mask to get out in front of the camera. desire work. What do we really want? What is truly going to make us happy? And so many of the women, even some of the women starting the mentorship, they're like, I don't know. I'm blank. Don't ask me who I am outside of work or in relation to my partner, or like, I don't know what's going to make me happy. I don't know how to touch myself to give myself a 2-minute orgasm. Like, I don't have those answers. I've never explored it. I've done what I thought I should do. I got the degrees, I got the house, I got the job, I had the kids, or maybe a lot of my clients didn't. And we're searching. We're searching for the answers in the wrong places, and we're getting gaslit into these false solutions. And the fucked up part is the answer is not out there. It is not in something external. We have the answers in our heart and in our pelvic floors. My clients laugh. They were joking, like some of the women that have worked with me for years were joking to the new women starting the mentorship and saying, they're like, you looked at me at our spring retreat last year and asked what my pussy wanted. And like, I wanted to fall into the floor. But your pussy knows, your heart knows, it knows a truth, a deeper truth about what you really want. And I don't think it is these things. And I will tell you, if we are searching for the answer and we are searching for something external, it is always going to land as false. And it doesn't matter how much money we have, it doesn't matter the time, the help, the anything, we are still going to feel lost, like we don't know who we are. So until we can get that connection back and really know what we desire and learn how to shed the societal superwoman conditioning that tells us what we should and shouldn't want, but that shit's fucking hollow and we've been chasing it for a long time. Until we can shed that, we will never, ever truly feel happy, connected, free. We're always striving, we're always doing, we're looking for those dopamine hits of achievement, of validation, of approval. That's like a drug. That's like a hook me up to an IV and mainline me some approval for a superwoman, because that's what we've been taught to thrive off of. So who are you when you're not caregiving? Who are you if it all went away tomorrow? Do you know what you desire? And my guess is that you probably don't. Or it's surface desires, or you have goals, in which I've talked about this over and over and over. But I want to point out, let's start being a little more honest about what we desire. What do you desire in this moment that would make you feel good, that would make your heart feel fuller, that would make your shoulders relax? Maybe that would give you a little tingle. And until we learn how to desire our truest desires, and oftentimes they're not convenient, we don't even want to admit that we desire what we desire, which is why I do a 2-day retreat on this, which is life-changing for the women in the mentorship. But we can start a small practice today. So this is from one of my old teachers, Mama Gina. What do I desire now in this moment? What do I desire in 1 month? What do I desire in 1 year? And do that practice daily. Write it down, start looking back, and you'll start to notice, like, are these true? Are these alive? Is this what I really want? Or is this just surface stuff? Like, I want the vacation home, or like, does it make you feel alive and happy? Or are we desiring the crutches, the quick fixes, like the weight loss drugs, like the antidepressants? Until we start doing this and making this a foundational practice about getting back in touch with us and our inner guidance and our intuition and our pussy truth, we will never feel full, alive, free, connected. Seems simple. It is harder. You're gonna suck at this, superwoman. It's harder to do than you think, because you're gonna write down goals. You're not gonna write down desires, but send me DMs because I would love to hear more of these desires. Let's help you massage them. And if this is work that you want to go deeper into, there are 2 ways to work with me right now. If you are an Ontario resident, I have a select number of spots for patients because I've reopened a small private practice for superwomen, for burnt out superwomen. So we will put the link for that. And if the mentorship was not for you, but you still feel called to work with me on a smaller scale, apply to work with me one-on-one because I have 2 spots available for that. Cannot wait to continue this series, go a little deeper on how high achieving women can get the love and connection that they desire. See you next time. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.